Hello everyone, and welcome to the Wilderness Hiker. An ultralight adventure is an excellent way to see nature. Going ultralight lets people travel far and fast in comfort. Getting rid of dead weight makes for a better adventure. Plan to hike as light as possible and still have good equipment. Camping gear varies. You could have one item that weighs 2 pounds or weighs 10 pounds, and they both do the same thing. A few ounces here and a few ounces there, they all add up to a lot of weight and can make the difference between a comfortable load and an uncomfortable load that will slow you down. I always pack for going solo. If I'm packed for solo, then I don't have to depend on other people if they remember to bring something. And if I'm with a group, which I always try to do, I have everything I need. If you can work together and make plans ahead of time to share equipment, and that's a wonderful thing, but if you don't plan it well and ahead of time, it usually doesn't work out well. To plan an ultralight kit, get all your gear together and go through everything you have, make a list, write down everything on it, mark the things that you know that you need to take and check them, scratch off the things that you don't have to have, and then we're going to weigh everything. We want to start by leaving out everything that's unnecessary. If you have two items that work the same, take the lightest one. Do this with everything and update your list. When we get our list updated, then we're going to weigh all the gear. Let's weigh the gear. Got my list here. The first thing on the list is a pack. So here's my ultralight rucksack. It's a frameless pack. I bought it online from ULA. It weighs 20 ounces. I've already got it measured. This is excellent for going ultralight. This is not what you want with a big heavy load. If you have a big heavy load, you need to get a framed pack. The lightweight ones there are going to weigh 3 to 3.5 pounds. Some of them weigh a lot more. So mark that on my list. 20 ounces. Next thing I want is a tent. Here's my ultralight one-person tent from Big Agnes. And it weighs 34 ounces. So I marked that on my list. Here I have a dry bag. This is a lightweight dry bag. It's for 35 liters. It's from Sea to Summit, and you can roll the top up and seal it when you're out crossing rivers, swimming, wading rivers, when it's raining and the water's coming down in your pack. It will keep your stuff inside dry. A pack cover will work for the rain. It won't work for swimming, wading creeks and rivers. So this is 2.5 ounces, and I can mark it on my list right here, 2.5 ounces. I have a ground pad here. This is a closed cell foam ground pad. I cut this to my size. It's my width, 2/3 of my body length. In warm or cool weather, this works great. And it weighs 4.6 ounces. So I'm going to write that down on my list, 4.6 ounces. Now I need a sleeping bag. Here's my ultralight sleeping bag. This is Marmot sleeping bag. It's down. And it weighs 25.5 ounces. So I've got that marked on my list. Next thing is for a raincoat. I have a raincoat and rain pants. These are sturdy. They have waterproof zippers. They're lightweight. They're designed for runners. I ordered them online. They weigh 12.4 ounces. So I've got that right down here, 12.4 ounces. If you're out in the weather and there's no shelter, your clothes are your shelter. If it's raining and it's 50 degrees, that's hypothermia. If it's raining and it's 32 degrees, that can be downright deadly. If you're soaking wet. If you're dry because you have a raincoat on, you can be warm and comfortable and enjoying the weather. The next thing is a cook kit. Here's my cook kit. And in my cook kit, I have a spoon and a fork, soap, salt, a lighter. I have a base for my fuel bottle. Here's a little stove. This screws on the top of the fuel bottle. It boils water really fast. And here is my lightweight pot right here. This one's titanium. Stainless steel also works well. It just weighs a little bit more. So I'm going to weigh all these together. Okay, I've got 14.2 ounces, so I marked that down on my list. The next item is first aid, hygiene, and repair. This is my first aid kit. It has everything that I need. I packed it myself. If you buy one, you need to learn everything that's in it and maybe add to it. This has my toothbrush, toothpaste. It has another lighter. It has matches for a fire starter, and I have toilet paper in another zipped up bag. And these weigh 10.3 ounces, so I've got that marked down on my list. I have a knife. Now I put bright duct tape on these things so when they fall down in the grass and weeds I can find them. This one is kind of a medium size. I want something sturdy. I can do kindling and cut little trees and stuff with it. It weighs 4.7 ounces, so I'll put that on my list. 4.7 ounces. Now you can get a 1 or 2 ounce knife, but you're not going to be able to do as much with it. Here's my map. I put my map in another plastic bag. Everything that's going to go in my pack that's not in the dry bag, it's going to be in a plastic bag, kitchen bag like this. So my map weighs 3.9 ounces. So I've got that marked down. I have a compass. This compass weighs 0.6 ounces. You can find compasses that weigh 2 ounces, that weigh 4 ounces, or even more. But for most purposes, they all do the same. Again, I marked it with bright duct tape so I can find it when it falls down in the weeds. I have a headlamp, and this is a name brand lightweight headlamp. It's fairly bright. I wrap my batteries with bright duct tape so I can find them. They won't get lost. I keep them out of the headlamp when I'm not using it so they don't get run down. So that is 2.7 ounces. So I've got that marked down. And I need a warm coat. If you're out in the woods and it's cool weather, cold weather, you need to stay warm. You need to have more warm clothes than you'll need. Big poofy coat, down coat, and it weighs 20.4 ounces. That is, maybe seems like a lot, but you got to stay warm. So somewhere you need to go ahead and just carry enough clothes that you'll be warm no matter what. Worst case scenario weather. I have extra socks and clothes. Always have extra socks. Every day your socks are going to get wet, muddy, stinky. Need to be cleaned and dried. It can take a couple of days sometimes to dry them. So you want fresh socks so your feet don't get blistered. So I have a minimum of 3 extra pair of socks. It's the one thing you take extra of. You don't need a new outfit every day. You just need enough clothes to stay warm. I have a hat. You lose a lot of heat through your head. Gloves. You lose a lot of heat through your hands. A bandana. It's useful for a lot of things. Insulation for my top. Insulation for my bottom. All these things together, if I put on everything I have, I can be out in probably 0-degree weather and be comfortable. So if I already weighed my clothes, and that's 20.1 ounces. So that gives me a total of 153.6 ounces, or 9.9 pounds. That's pretty light. Anytime you can get under 12 pounds, you're doing good. If you're 15 or 20 pounds in the winter where you're carrying all the cold weather gear, you may need that much. If your gear weighs more than that, that's okay for starters. You can just use this as a learning in the future when you can plan when you replace things or buy things, you can get the things that are lightweight. Now let's look at our water and our food. You need 2 to 10 liters of water a day, depending on the climate you're in. So, these are water bottles that come from the grocery store, and it's about a 1 ounce bottle. These are the sturdy ones, so I can weigh them. Water is going to weigh 70 ounces for 2 liters. And it's going to, these bottles are about 1 ounce, so that's about 72 ounces right there. I have 2 more water bottles that I'm going to take just for spares, and they weigh just barely over an ounce. So I've got about 74 ounces right there, and that's the minimum amount of water I'm going to take. Some places you need to take a lot more. Be aware of where you're going and what's needed where you're going. So that's my water in my water bottles. I have water purification tablets. There's 3 ways to purify your water. One is to boil it. If you're making soup or tea or coffee or hot chocolate, you can boil your water. If you have a filter, you can filter it. If you have clean water, don't think it's safe just because it looks good. You can use the MicroPure MP1 water purifier tablets. They meet the EPA microbiological water purifier test standards. There's 30 tablets here. That's for 30 liters. That's quite a bit. That lasts a lot of days. You follow instructions, 1 liter in a bottle, and that takes care of it. And they weigh next to nothing, so I'm not even counting their weight. I need some fuel for my stove. And I can weigh this right here, and it tells me right now, if it's full, it's going to weigh 7.4 grams. If it's empty, it weighs 3.9 grams. And it's 7.4 grams, and it's full, so I can mark that on here on my list. And for food, I'm going to take 16 ounces of food a day for me, dry weight food. And I'm an average sized person, and I eat a lot, so you may want more or you may want less. You learn from experience. I put all my food in plastic bags, and I have instant soup, I have olive oil, I have seasonings, I have protein bars, I have protein drink. So some of those I'm going to cook, some of those I'm just going to eat the way they are. I have noodles. These are egg noodles. High energy, high protein, easy to fix. This is all grocery store food. I use grocery store food. I have nuts. This is high energy food. I just eat it when I go. And I can get dried fruit and eat it the same way. All of this is going to go into the backpack. And everything that doesn't come in a good plastic bag, I put it in a good plastic bag, sometimes double bag things to make sure they're staying dry. So with 5 days of food, that's 5 nights. So that's really 6 days if you count the morning and the evening. When you go and you come, then each one of those is a half day. So that gives me a total of 161.4 ounces, or 10.2 pounds. So my whole kit weighs 20 pounds, and I'm good for 5 days. In cool weather, I really have clothing and everything for cold weather, but if I'm going out in cold weather, I would take more. So now it's time to get your kit and weigh it, and make a plan, and go on an ultralight adventure. Now let's pack the pack. First thing I'm going to do is take the dry bag and put it inside the backpack. Now if you don't have a dry bag, you can use a trash compactor bag, or you can use one of those heavy-duty contractor trash bags. We'll take the sleeping bag and put it in first. And stuff it all the way down to the bottom. Going to take spare clothes that I'm not going to wear right away. And put them in here. Stuff them down to the bottom. And I'm going to take my food. This food I'll leave on top to eat on the trail. So this food is cooked food, and it's going down the bottom. This is my first aid kit. And here is my warm coat. If I'm not going to wear it, I'm going to put it down in here. All this is going inside the dry bag so that if everything's getting wet, it will all stay dry. Compress it all down thoroughly. And roll up the dry bag and clip it. It's all going to stay dry. And my cook kit, my trail food, and I can close this all up, roll it up, clip it shut for right now. There it is. On the sides, I'm going to put my water bottles. Now, here's what I've done. I want the weight of the pack to be low and close to my body. These are the heaviest things. They're low and they're close to my body. My raincoat, in case I have to get it out quick, goes in this pouch on the back. This is a place for anything wet, dirty. Take my extra water bottles, put them in here. Put my water filter tablets, here. Take my toilet paper in a plastic bag. Stuff it in here. So I've got all of that. In my side pockets right here, I can put my compass and my knife, unless I want to put them in my pants pocket. My other side pocket right here, I'm going to put my light, batteries, now I got 3 things left. Got a ground pad and a tent. They're going to go on top. So I'll put the tent next to me because it's heaviest. The ground pad back here. Strap them down tight so nothing comes loose. I have a map. I'll put it in the side pocket so it's easy to get to. I have all my gear here. This is a 20-pound pack. I can go out for 5 nights with this. It's light, it's comfortable. Get it adjusted right. I could actually run through the woods or hike comfortably. I can take extra stuff, cameras, books, whatever I might want to have. So it's time for you to go get your stuff together and go out and have an adventure in the woods. If you like this video, please go below, write a comment, subscribe, click the like button, and share it with your friends. Have a good time out in the woods.